KIT News Time is 8:43 as we continue our District 4 candidate interviews, and we have Kay Funk in the house this morning. Good morning, Kay. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Can we call you Dr. Doc Kay? What's the appropriate way to address you?
Okay, well, since I'm retired, well, in the doctor-patient relationship, it's good to create some distance because it's a formal relationship. Here, I'm retired, I'm a civilian, you can call me Kay.
Okay, it is. I like it.
Right. Well, tell us about yourself, Kay. Who you are, maybe what you're doing these days, and why you chose to run for the city council.
We moved to Yakima 34 years ago this summer. I was pregnant with our twins, wow. James and Donovan Collins, now 34 years old. Wow. Pretty well known for their stint at Davis High School on the basketball team. Although not Taylor Stubblefield.
Not too many Taylor Stubblefields.
That's right.
Not too many. And we've lived in District 4 for 34 years. I initially practiced at the Yakima Nation clinic for 5 years and have been in private practice, had our own business for 25 years.
All right. Was there a, I guess the last gentleman was in here called it a lightning bolt moment. I remember very clearly what it was that encouraged me to run for council several years ago. Most people that I talked to said, yes, something happened and I knew that I had to go. Did you have a moment like that, or is it accumulation of time in the district, or just having the free time now to run? What was your motivation to get into the race?
Well, having the free time is definitely a difference, and I've always been interested in public service, and I never thought that I would run for public office, but I think I can do some good public service in this office.
Excellent.
Hey, lots of challenges facing the city out there. What do you think is the number 1 and 2 challenges that are facing this city? What are you hearing from I don't know if you're knocking on doors, but what are you hearing from your district voters?
Violence, homicides, that's the number 1 concern. We saw this big spike in homicides that seems to have settled down. Most people that I have spoken to, even in the poor districts, feel that the police are doing a good job. There's a science to policing, which I respect. We need to have the best police force that we can afford, and I think we have a good quality police force. Not that there are always some failures in response time, there are always failures, and the city council should monitor that.
How do we address those problems? Well, how would you address the problems if you were on the city council, the crime and the violence?
Well, acutely, for active crime, the police department is responsible for that, and they are, of course, a large part of the city budget, as they should be. More long-term engagement of the community. The city has a block watch program, but I don't see very much evidence of it. I don't see the signs like we used to see 15 or 20 years ago. Nobody has told me that they're actively involved in it. Some people have said, well, there was a letter to the editor the other day by someone who wanted to start a block watch and was disappointed with the response that they received. Block watch is expensive on the city's end because it does require investment of time and expertise, but I think it's a good investment. Anything that can bring people together to help their neighborhoods be safer, I think would be a plus.
It's a tricky thing when you're a candidate and people are going to ask you questions like Lance just did, and one answers that will you know, you're the politician. You should be able to fix all the problems.
Yeah.
And that's truly not the case. So part of your job is to give thoughtful answers and look long term, because in the short run, there's not a lot that any one little group of people can do to fix major problems in a city. So, you know, it's the guidance, it's the vision, it's the kinds of things you're talking about, dividing the difference between a short-term acute situation and a long-term care.
Yes, and can I follow up on that?
Yes.
My son is a prosecutor. My brother was a public defender, including capital crimes. And so I have some of their perspective, and they both agree that the long-term solution to crime is helping young people grow up to be more successful, stay in school, have multiple connections with the community, feel that they're respected. We've had some erosion of that in the past few decades with increasing income inequality, racial hostility, and so those are all have to be taken into account when we consider public safety long term.
I think all the candidates, I think we're pretty much agree that, you know, it seems like the theme is that more community involvement, maybe more community policing, more coffee with a cop kind of incidents that are events happening.